Greetings, this is Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator. Today I'm just gonna work on some game stuff and maybe chat about whatever the hell's going on in my head right now. Because, anyway, it's been a while since we last saw this game, huh? This crazy game. What was it? It was Battle World? Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to do some update stuff for it. The last thing I got to do update wise was the terrain effects cards. And yeah, the tech cards. Although I didn't get to do the colors for these ones because that would have made the library printer more expensive to use. It's like, no, I'll do it with colored pencils. We'll do it the hard way. And since it seems to be one of the more popular game design vault shorts that I've done alongside a unnamed witch game, it gets to be the high priority of I'm gonna update this fucking game. So that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna maybe talk about some shit too, because holy crap. Drink of choice today: more pineapple juice. One of these days I will completely break away from soda. But for now, it it's relegated to just drinking at dinner and lunch at the game store. Oh yeah, the game store. Let me tell you about uh, why I missed Altair's 3D Live. I caught the VOD and the VOD was nice, but I still wish I could have caught it live because I'm rooting for that guy. We played a game called 18 Cuba. If you're familiar with the 18XX line of games, you have um, minor companies, major companies, stocks, um, minor companies that have to deal with producing sugar, major companies that can pick up that sugar and deliver it for extra money, stocks that can go up by running your rails or go down by not running them. There's gonna be a turn of not running them while you're getting a train, and because trains decay as certain ones come out, there's gonna be turns of I'm not gonna be able to do anything. I need to buy a new train because you buy trains after running. Also, setting up stations and buying other people's stocks or stocks in your own company. Paper limit of 20, so you can have 20 cards that feature stocks. Although, if you can get like the 20% shares by owning the company, then you can get a lot of value out of that one stock. But yeah, that went from about 3 or so in the afternoon until almost 1 o'clock at night in the morning. That was a long fucking game. And even then I got like second place. I would have had first if I didn't have to buy a replacement train on the last freaking thing I had to do in the game. Because we broke the bank that turn. But no, there's still one more operating round, and I just lost my for a train with my big major company, and I had to replace that. And because the company didn't have the money, because all the stocks were sold, so there's no more money going into the company, I'll say held. unless they chose not to pay out on, after running. That money had to come out of my cash. And at the end of the game, what counts is the value of your stocks and the remaining cash you have on hands. The money that's goes into your company is nothing. So I lost a good nearly $600 having to having to put a train in the company because it was mandatory to have a train in that company. And that basically cost me the game. In addition to the turn of not being able to run the train as well. But the guy I took first was like we weren't sure if how well he was gonna do, and then he actually managed to pull ahead and just really kick ass. But yeah, I had like the best value miner company. One of the top companies in that range for the major companies, and my second company, I was the only one invested in that one. So I was the only one to make money at the end. But I was able to keep running that one. So it would have been worth getting into if people were looking for more stock to buy. Yeah, the print job on that one didn't turn out too well. So what I might do is the extra step. My big blue box of colored pencils, various kinds. I have two different sets of regular colored pencils and then a weird color set. But yeah, my black pencils are very short compared to the color I don't really use much. This brown one. Yeah, there's one I haven't used at all. These are my two black ones for comparison. I use the ever-living crap out of my black ones, and I want to see if I can just find black colored pencils, just a box of those, and I might do more more drawing with these as content ideas, because in spite of my doubts, in spite of all the times I feel like absolute shit sometimes, I do want to keep this going. This is fun. This can be fun. There are moments where it's frustrating, but I also want to feel like maybe it'll be worth it. Yeah. I'm starting to not care about whether or not I'll ever be monetized or subscribers or whatever. I'm just going to keep doing shit because I don't want this channel to go quiet. I'm here for the long haul. But it means I gotta find more stuff to do. There's another thing that kind of came up earlier today with someone just not really paying attention to stuff, outside what they're aware of. They're not really looking. What the hell is my market? Who is my audience? What kind of people does this content cater to? Like my primary focus is on me. If I like doing it, that's what I'm going to be doing. Period. I try not to go after trends. Like, there's a couple things, but that's because my computer could handle it. Q Remastered, when that came out last year for the PC, when I got the PC port. But that's because I like puzzle games. Same thing with the Suika game. I did the browser version. The browser one does not fucking work anymore, I think. Or it might just be really weird. I was having trouble with it, and I think the last time I tried to mess with it, it I don't know, it was just having issues on my browser anyway. But yeah, in general, I just find games that I want to cover, and I feature them, and sometimes it works out. Sometimes I get people are like really surprised to see the game again, like Zero Tolerance or Darklands. And then I've got my board game shorts that I've been doing decently as well sometimes. I still want to do the RPG shorts. All right, let's take this back just for a sec. If you see over there where I've got my books, yeah, my RPG books are over there to be in better reach, um, so that I can do the RPG shorts a little bit more effectively. I should move my dice container over there as well. All the freaking dice that I have for my RPGs and all that. But yeah, I moved. At first, I was going to have the great big board games over here. And I realized, wait, I want my books over here. I want the board games over on the main shelf over here that don't fit in my locker. Um, the ones that currently don't fit in my locker are all the card games, the collectible card games, plus the Target, um, and some dice on top of my locker. And then um, the big games on the shelf, Soccer Arms, um, Terraforming Mars, Clash of Cultures Monumental Edition, Eve Conquests, which, holy shit, that video keeps getting views too. Concordia, Francis Drake, which has expansions I want to get. Lords of Waterdeep, Adrenaline, The Witcher Old World. I'll look into expansions for that one. Fire and Axe, Commands and Colors Agents. I don't know if I'll be able to find the expansions on that one. Those are expensive. And Cloud Fantasy, which, if I say I'm curious about getting another booster box, is someone going to beat me to it? Yeah. And then I've moved the movie shelf over. Let's see. Let's see if we can avoid fucking up the connection. Yep. It's over there. Along with my to-do list of content. So I can get to those a little bit easier. Yeah. I should actually start watching some of this. I know I planned the whole anime watch along thing. Finding a good day to do it is really freaking hard. And also, I know it's something that I want to try, but I have to wonder if maybe um, the whole watch along concept is probably not something I want to do a whole lot of at all. It's an experiment, you know. I gotta try just about everything. I have my limits, of course. I'm not gonna do things like pretending to be your cartoon boyfriend. I'm not going to do that. Because here's exactly how the experience will go. Alright. Hey, I'm going to the game store. I'll see you later. I probably wouldn't go that far with an actual relationship, but I just that's not what I'm trying to provide here. I think some people get a little too deep into that, and either on one end or the other. I just don't think it's good for the long term. I don't think it would be good for me to try that at all. So, no, thank you. Yeah, the VTuber world being on fire lately. Granted, it's kind of down to the embers, but there's still going to be people remembering the burns, They're not going to forget. The important thing is supporting the people that you do care about and focusing on being there for the content you want to support, and maybe doing a little bit extra if you're up for doing fan art and other things. But yeah, working on this today. I'm just thinking about what else I want to do with this game. I know the odds on the dice are absolute shit. 2 1s, a 2, and a 3. When, to hit defense 1, it's a 50% chance. Defense 2 is 25%. 3 is 12.5%. A defensive 4, first you have to roll a 3, and then you get to re-roll it, and you're going to need at least a 1 or better. So that's a 6.25%. I may have made the combat odds in this game a little too hardcore, which is why I'm thinking about, for 3 of the blanks, 2 of them will feature reroll symbols that you can spend the die and reroll another die. A third blank side will feature a nudge symbol, a +1. You spend that die and then nudge another die up by 1, or treat it as 1 higher. And then there's the planet is full. It's time for war mode. This one's going to be like a because it's battle world. The world is going to turn, and there'll be more light on one side and the other, and darkness on the other. Instead, this is going to represent shit going down. When the map is full, it triggers that final war mode. Everyone's dice and damage are now doubled. At the end of your turn, you have to take one of your leftover buildings and remove it from the game. If you can't do it, everyone else gets one last turn, and then the game is over. And then the victory conditions. Yeah. Yeah, I laminated this, and laminated pencil does not turn out very well, honestly. It'll be just between your buildings and your tech. And another thing that is adding trophies. You can take, when you destroy an opponent's building, you take it as a trophy for yourself. So that'll count towards the end. And And it's depending on what each thing's going to be worth. Um, Most points off of that one. Yeah, it's been way too long since I got back to these, and I don't know why. Just letting other things distract me instead of working on this creative stuff. Like, hey, I could I could make a ton of videos. I could attempt streaming a lot more often. I'm sorry I missed my opportunities to stream on Twitch. I might have to just try it anyway a little later. But yeah, get the game finished, tested, polished, published, and maybe it might help with my financial situation. But most of all, I just want to see a game design of mine actually make it on to a game store shelf. And yes, I want game stores to remain. Holy crap. I know ordering it online is a thing, but unless it's, for something that's like out of print, I'm going to try to look at stuff at the game store first. We had that community meeting the other day, and there's the whole board game league talk of, yeah, they're not doing the free Tuesdays anymore. It's like I should have enough people to come in. And I keep saying I'm not gonna do the next board game league, but then uh, I think as long as the library remains unopened, it's still under the renovations, I'm probably gonna keep doing the league. But the moment the library is open once again, I'm gonna start talking to them about setting up events and such. You know, I will set up free Tuesday games at the library. There's the Ethos is doing a free board game thing next week, so I might go to that. But they have small tables. It's hard to bring the kind of games I want to play because I need a reasonably sized table. Something about as big or bigger than this would be ideal, but a lot of their tables are small. I think Android mainframe might work. Cypher would work as well. It's a small card game. I think I need more space for Starlight Stage or Anima. There's a whole list of games I can go through. It's like, okay, let's see how much space this game takes up and make a note of it so that if someone says, hey, bring a game, okay, what tables do you have um, in terms of, you know, game table? And they can tell me, like, oh, they're about this big. This many inches by this many. And I can look at my list of games by table size and go, okay, I can probably bring this. and then for sure it will fit. I have a lot of games that require a lot of table space. It's kind of nuts to think about. That's the thing I gotta look into with my own game designs is how much table space are they gonna take. There's a reason why I haven't gone back to Hearts of Chaos. It's because that one requires so much table space. I don't know if I can really test it right now at home. I feel like Unnamed Witch Game might be the best for a smaller table. It's like a lot of my ideas. So many of my ideas take up all this space. Like really, I there wasn't a more compact option for using table space. I don't know. It's because I do all these combat heavy games. Yeah. Figuring out how to do something more peaceful, it's not my thing. Okay, let's range. What else is going on? Work hours have kind of taken a shit lately. I'm just fingers crossed my income tax returns come in and before the month is over so that I'm not too crunched on finances with regard to my bills. Going to there's a state return, there's the federal return. The state return, I'm getting a new computer, period. And I'm going to have a little bit left over to handle phone bills and other stuff next month ahead of time. The federal return, I'm going to be getting one little tabletop game thing for sure. And then I'm going to use part of that to help my mom out because she has helped me out quite a bit. I want to make sure I pay her back for when she helped me out last year. But yeah, I want to make sure I have enough left over so that going into the next month, my bills are covered and all my paycheck can go to saving up for next month or getting stuff that I need. Yeah. One of the people who was working at our at the place where I work is no longer there. Um, they remain rehirable. Hopefully, they will get their life in order. But I just want to say, do not ever go into any place of employment where you are employed under the influence of any kind of substances, whether drugs or alcohol, because it will being under that influence will affect your mood, which will affect how you interact with your employees, or fellow coworkers, which may cause some discomfort, if not absolute fucking terror. Yeah. You know, when when they were trying to kick the habit and they were able to step away from it, they're actually a pretty good person to deal with, sort of. But then it was becoming clear that they were finding time to get out to their vehicle and be under the influence of stuff, and then coming back to work, and that just doesn't work, man. There's there are many reasons why I never get involved with alcohol or drugs or anything like that, and it's partly because I value my brain. I only have one. I'm not going to put it under that influence you know just to for the sake of escaping it. My happiness comes from things other than that stuff. And I would never want to take that stuff just for the sake of belonging to a group. There's a reason why I got to college and I didn't really kind of gel with a whole lot of people. I got to CSU Pueblo, and in first semester, I think the closest person I had to a friend um, was a fan of anime and manga and silly internet shit, and was a really nice guy. But he left after his first semester because he is a missionary, LDS. Yeah, I found it kind of surprising. It's like, there are fans of stuff that are gonna really surprise you. Like, really, you're you're from this, and yet you really like all that. That's cool. And I never tried to push me towards the religious stuff. So I have a good deal of respect for him for that, and I kind of wish I could meet him again. Say, hey, I checked out that anime you recommended. One of these days, I might check out the manga I recommended as well. If I ever get back into manga, I kind of don't want to because one, it's expensive, and two, the books take up a lot of space. I know. But you could read it on a phone app or a tablet or your computer. Here's the thing: I like physical things. I like to be able to pick it up, do whatever the hell I want with it, and be able to set it down on my own terms. You know. That, and there's been a lot of shit lately with digital stuff just being wiped out. It's like, yep, we're taking it down from the storefront. Sorry, music licensing. I know it's a pivotal game in history. Of course, I never played it, but it's got to go. And where it really sucks is when stuff never gets a physical release, especially over here. Like, a couple anime that I watched on Crunchyroll, Shugo Chara, and Lil Pre. It's like I've never seen physical releases for those over here. But I would love to have both series in my collection. I enjoy them both quite a bit. From my I'm bored what's on Crunchyroll era of I hope I find a magical girl series that isn't traumatizing as fuck. Because why? Granted, Shiokar had its own bit of drama in that one, and it wasn't 100% sunshine and rainbows for Little Pretty either. But that one was a nice. That one was such a nice show though. But one of the things that just kind of a pain in the butt is having to deal with subtitles. And I'm sorry to keep beating that dead horse on it, but it's just for me. I want to have an English dub so I can remember things better. A lot of Japanese just goes in one ear and out the other for me. And if I read it, I don't retain the information in that character's voice. I retain it in mine, and I'm gonna end up losing it if I don't go out of my way to really focus on taking what the subtitles say and reading it back to myself. That's why I never really got. That's why I'm feel like I'm on my own from the anime community. I feel like I'm on my own from a lot of just overall fan groups. It's like, okay, I like this. Period. You know, I'm not gonna go into 100 million details about it and talk about rises and falls and the nitty gritty and the scandals. I'm not gonna obsess over that. I'm not going to obsess over talking about it. It's entirely possible that it's occupying my brain and it's causing me absolute hell thinking about it. But I can't bring myself to really talk too much about it specifically. Part of why I kind of have a little bit more distance between me and the VTuber fandoms. It's like, yeah, I like these people. I think they're cool. I don't really get to watch them all the time, and I try to catch up on VODs when I want to. But I have a life the outside of the internet where I go outside and I go hang out at the game store and go play long ass train games and do other stuff aside from just watching VTubers 24/7. All right. Well, there's one set done. I already have this set done. I've got like 4 more sets to do, and I don't know how many more discussion topics I've got going for me at this point in time. So, what I'm going to do is put this away for a minute. Gonna upload this video. While I'm uploading, I'm gonna keep working on this. And when I'm done working on this, I'm going to go down to a library and print out a sheet to replace the handwritten faction mode stuff. Probably go down to the library. And just go outside today and just walk. Because on my days off of work, I really need to be more active. I can't keep sitting around, just scrolling through Twitter, wondering what the hell the next drama is. I'm honestly tired of all of it. I want to focus more on my shit and less on the shit that's happening with everyone else. Unless there's content that I want to check out because I want to support those people, then I want to know about it. I think one of these days I'm just going to have to step away from Twitter completely. But as long as I'm making my content, people on Twitter are going to know about it. because that's my one spot to share info. It's like I was really surprised the other day. Someone retweeted a post I made long ago about Dodeca Mecha, my little mech game with giant D12s. I made the map tiles. It's like this, featured picture of them and what they're intended for, and someone reposted it. I was like, wow, really? You actually went back that far, or it showed up somehow? I'm just okay, cool, glad you're passing the knowledge along. Maybe I can get back to work on that one too. But yeah, I just gotta stick to my game designs, get those done. Get back to my costume projects, get those done. I clear this pipeline of all my creative shit, and then I have more time to enjoy other stuff and have fun. All right, thanks very much for watching. This has been Pillar Nexus. We'll see you next time.